Good morning or good afternoon. I'm not really sure what period is tomorrow, first anyway. So this is Miss Johnson, if you didn't already know that, and I'm reporting from my living room at my house. And as you can tell, I'm not there with you because I have two sick children still. Um, yeah, fevers are hard to break. If you're wondering, that guitar right there is not mine, it's my husband's. I don't play guitar, so I can't come in and sing songs, but I can sing, so maybe someday I'll sing for you. Alright, so today what we're going to talk about is project-based learning. If you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. I'm going to try to go through this fast so you have time to work in your teams that you're sitting with right now. So I wanted to do something different with you. You guys are a different bunch. Um, you guys like to ask a lot of questions. Um, some of you like to read, some of you don't, and that's okay. And I want you to do something where you feel like you're in control of your learning. Bear with me, all right? So in my life, Miss Richardson, she's my direct boss. Okay, some of you had her last year. I believe all of you did. So she's my direct boss, and she tells me what to do. And sometimes, a lot of times, she won't just say, Miss Johnson, do this. She'll say, I need you to do this, but I need you to do it under these certain conditions. So I have to work with my team. I have 10 days to do it. I have to put it into a certain spreadsheet. I have to make sure that it applies to certain standards, and I have to make sure that it's going to work. Okay, so I have to research the fact that whatever it is she asked me to complete is going to work. Okay, or I don't have a job, and hopefully I'm doing okay. Another example, I have a baby shower that I'm planning, and I know how many people are coming. I know how much money I have. I know the team of people I'm working with to get it accomplished. I know where we're going to have it. I know what we're going to eat. I know where the expectant mother is registered so I can tell people where to buy stuff. And we have invitations and all of that jazz, okay? And at the end, we have the baby shower, okay? So in adult life, everything's based off of these projects, okay, or questions, and literally almost every single job is based on this. Um, and you're given certain guidelines and instructions, and you have to solve the problem. Okay, so example: Johnny works for a car dealership, and Johnny's boss says, "I'm going to give you $20,000 worth of marketing money, and I'm going to give you this team of people, and I need you to get it done. The sales of the cars done by this date, and you need to sell this many cars." So what does Johnny have to do? He has to go and he has to research demographic information of people that live in a certain area, what kind of car they usually drive, etc. I don't know a lot about car sales, but I'm just guessing. So then he has his team that he pulls together, and he allocates certain things to do for his team, and he makes sure that all these people can do all these jobs that he's allocating. Now this is if he's the boss, right, of the project, and he has to make sure that he stays within his budget. If he goes over his budget, he's going to get in trouble, and so on and so forth. So that by the end, by March, he has sold a certain amount of cars that his boss asked him to sell. So that's like a bigger real world project. So first we're asking questions, we're researching options, we're getting feedback from each other because obviously you guys are the best resource you have, another person sitting in front of you, and you're presenting ideas to each other to see what's going to work. And through that process, you're doing something that you're going to need for every single job that you're going to do for the rest of your life, and that's critical thinking. So the ability to think critically about something carefully and calculatedly, and collaboration, working with a team of people. Some people think that they can sit in a science lab alone, but it doesn't work like that. You're going to have to work with others. And then lastly, you need communication, and you need effective communication, whether it's with the people on your team or people that you need something from in order to get your project done. So through those things, those three C's, the critical thinking, collaboration, and communication, you're using a higher level order of thinking than just the typical presentation of regurgitating information you found on Wikipedia and putting it in a PowerPoint and, screen grabbing a picture of whatever author, insert author here that you're doing a project about, okay? If I assign that kind of project if I ask you in September what the project was about, you're probably not going to be able to tell me. Maybe you'll say, oh, it was about Mark Twain, but you're not going to be able to tell me the nitty-gritty and did you learn anything? Probably not. So that's going to bring us to the project that you are going to be presented with today. I'm sorry, my computer is not awake. I have two computers going right now. So, okay. So in front of you, you have a set of instructions, sort of. So this is the Huckleberry Finn inquiry-based project. Okay, so what's an inquiry, first and foremost? An inquiry is like a question or some sort of research that you do to get to a solution, right? We're going to play around with the due date. It's supposed to be due the 29th, but this is going to extend past when Huck Finn, the book, when we'll be finished with the book, and that's okay, because this is dealing with some bigger stuff. So your task is to form a driving question that you want to answer, okay, in this big game we call life. You're going to choose a topic or a concept. There's a bunch of them below. And as you read the rest of Huckleberry Finn, you'll explore some issues in society and growing up. But your final project will detail exploration into one of these topics and provide your peers with insight into what you figured out as a solution or answer to your question. And I want to expand this to both CP classes, and I also want to expand this to the AMSIC community. I want you to do your presentations in front of people that you would like to invite. So whether it's parents, guardians, grandparents, cousins, I don't care who you invite, whoever you want to showcase your work to, because this is work that you're going to be spending a lot of time on, right? And the process of it, we kind of talked about when I was given those real-world examples, but I'll say it again. So you get to be the teacher regardless of your topic chosen and the form of the presentation of your finished product. You will present the findings of your research. This presentation will present the problem, defend the problem, so that a problem really exists, okay? And you will present a solution and prove that the proposed solution will work, okay? So, like I said, it's not going to all be focused on Huck. These are bigger life things. So let's go down to the first one. So it says first things first, before picking a question for your project, you might want to figure out what you know collectively, okay, once you go through the topics and how you're going to find information about the topics. And also how, if you see a certain thing, like, oh, you may have a great idea for a presentation, but it needs to be creative and meaningful to both you and your audience. So, for example, the first one, controlling what others can experience, or you could also say what others have access to. So the idea of censoring books. We talked about this when we started our unit of Huck Finn, and we talked extensively about why books get banned and how they get banned and the process of them getting banned and what happens afterwards, and we talked about that for like 2 days. So why is Huck a banned book, first and foremost? Should it be a banned book? How does determining what's okay or not okay for a group of people affect our overall society? That's a huge question. But there's answers and there's solutions to that, okay? So what I want you to do today, what I want you to focus on, I want you to look through the list of questions, and I want you to come up with something that you really want to know about. There's got to be something out there that you want to know about that's sort of kind of related to Huck Finn. And I want you to form a question around it. Okay? And if you can't figure out a question, I want you to just jot some notes down on your note card that you were given from the sub. Thank you, sub. Or if you come up with a question that you want your group or your team wants to answer, that's great too. Put that on the note card and we'll talk about them on Friday. I will be in on Friday, come heck or high water. Even if I have to strap my children to my back, I will bring them to school at that point because we can't miss Miss Johnson out of class anymore. We have a lot of stuff that we have to do. So I think I said this already, but I really want you guys to have something this year in my class that you worked on that you feel proud to have worked on, something that you'll remember that you worked on, and that is not just regurgitation, because that doesn't seal anything in the brain, or for the purposes of our class, give you any higher level or higher orders of having you use any higher orders of thinking skills. And I want you to, if you learned nothing else in my class this year, and I know it's only almost February, oh my goodness, I want you feel proud about something that you worked on, okay? So that's enough of me being sappy, and it's very late in the evening. Actually, it's actually the morning. But that's that. So get to work. I'll see you on Friday, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you.